showcasing local talent, professionals, and everyday people making Salt Lake City what it is today. It's time for another episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast.
I want to welcome you guys out today to a brand new episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. For those of you not familiar, my name is Chris Hollifield. This is my show. Thank you so much for checking it out. IamSaltLake.com is the website. You can go there, find out more about the podcast, find out more about me, as well as listen to all the previous episodes right there online. You can download them, stream them. There's links for iTunes right there. So make sure to check out the back catalog. I've been talking to some really cool individuals here in Salt Lake, and hopefully you guys enjoy the story. I've been enjoying the stories that I've been getting out of these people, and check them out. You can find out about people that you may have never heard of. I got a great show for you guys today, but before I jump into it, I want to tell you guys about our sponsor, Crucial Fest. Go to their website, crucialfest.com. It's going on here in Salt Lake City. This is the 5th year. This year it's going on June 18th through the 20th. You can go to the website, see the complete band lineup. There are some great bands playing it, including some local bands that I love. Eagle Twin, Sabrosa, Cult Leader, Worst Friends, God's Revolver, Agape is playing. I mean, Ryan Powers, I am excited to see you play this year at Crucial Fest. Again, the website, crucialfest.com. You can go there, get your tickets, support them. They support the podcast, and just keeps the cycle going. I got a great show for you guys today. Guy Seidel, he comes back and joins me for this episode of the podcast. We do some catching up. It's been a couple years since Guy's been on the podcast. Episode 85 is the last time he's been on the show. Anyway, I'm going to quit talking. Why don't you guys join me now as I talk to Guy Seidel at the American Musicians Radio Studio here in Salt Lake City, Utah. The last time you were on the show was July of 2013.
So it's been a while.
About almost 2 years. The episode was posted July 13th, 2013. Episode, I think it's at 85.
It was less than 100.
That was a while ago. So
yeah.
You do deserve to come back on the podcast. And I mean, speaking of that, I mean, there's a lot to catch up on. You are now officially the 2015 funniest person in Utah.
Yeah.
So yes. You better be funny tonight.
I have to laugh at that thing. Funniest person in Utah. How do you determine that?
Well, okay, so we're talking about it. Let's explain the process of that for people listening, because I know I, for one, have no idea
how it went down.
How do you become the funniest person in Utah? So how does that work?
You don't. It's a comedy competition. That's just a title for it. What it was is there was a big comedy competition. There was 3 rounds. I don't know how many people combined competed, but the first round, everybody did 3 minutes. I believe there was 20 comics, maybe more. And then the 5 from that. I think. And how did you like get there? Did you have to just enter? Did you you just enter online. There was an online application thing, and by application I mean pay money.
So I could have done it.
Yeah,
even though I wouldn't have had a shot against people like yourself.
There was a few people there that I've never even seen.
Okay,
like I was like, this guy's doing comedy his first time on a competition. Okay, good for him. I mean, that takes balls.
Yeah.
And then so that was you did 3 minutes. And I did 3 minutes of just one-liners. I have kind of 2 different sets. I'll do stories like a normal comedian. And then sometimes I'll get bored and I'll just do one-liners a la Stephen Wright or Mitch Hedberg or, Jeselnik, things like that. Obviously theirs are better than mine, but, just go up and just do, just one of them is, I was listening to Foreigner today. Not the band, the employees of Walmart were using the intercom. That's just a one-liner. And then I'll have 20 of those that I'll do in a set. That's what I did on the first set there, and I made it to the second round, which was 5 comics made it to that. There was 5 more comics. So there's 10 comics, I think.
And this was once a week?
I think it was like every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
The contest was like a month long.
Okay.
So yeah, but it was at Wise Guys. So then I made it to the semifinals, which everybody did 5 minutes. Did a regular set there, and then 5 people from that made it to the finals where everybody did 10 minutes. And in the 10 minutes, I apparently did better than everybody else, which is weird because I thought I ate my balls. I went up and did 10 minutes, and in a minute in, the crowd was like very tight, very cold. And I was like, well, I ate my dick. Might as well just finish this. You know, it's not the first competition I've lost. I'll just finish my set and keep going. I got off stage and I was talking to the other comedians like, holy shit, I just bombed my nuts off. And everybody's like, dude, I felt the same way. I went to talk to another comedian. They're like, yeah, I felt that crowd was tight as shit. So I was like, well, maybe I didn't bomb like I thought I did. And apparently not because I won. But, yeah, it was a weird dynamic. And I think the only advantage I had, I'm not going to say I'm a better comic, but I've been doing it longer than anybody that was in the competition. And on the last night, you had to do 10 minutes. So maybe I had a stronger 10 minutes than the other guys just because I've been doing it longer. I'm saying I'm funnier than any of those guys. I just maybe knew what set to do more so than them. Or I just might have had a better night than they did. I don't know, because I don't think I'm funnier than Christian or whoever else was in there. It's just timing.
So how did they pick who won? Like each time, was it based off the audience response?
I think there was audience members judging. I didn't ask.
Call-ins, like American Idol call-ins.
There was judges. Okay. I don't know how many. I don't know who they were. I didn't ask. I didn't want to know.
So they were secret, kind of hidden in the audience.
I don't know if they had like some comics and people judging. I don't know who they were. I don't know what nights they were there or who the judges were. I didn't want to know.
Yeah.
And then I know some audience members were judging as well. So it's kind of a mix-up because if you have only comics judging it, they're going to look for different things than what crowd members will look like. Comics are a little more cunty. They're going to be like, oh, that joke was poorly written, or that joke was, I heard something similar by this comic. Where audience members are just like, that was funny, I laughed.
So you won. Did you win money then?
Yes,
I won some cash.
I won some cash, and now I win the title of funniest person in Utah. So bitches, line the fuck up. Find me on Facebook if you want to get up on this hog. Now that I'm famous, I'm gonna milk the shit out of this for you.
Any other? I mean, like an opportunity to open for the comedian of your choice when he comes to town, or what?
I will no
free hand jobs for life,
free HJs from the ladies. So hit me up again, ladies listening. If you want to line up and give this guy an HJ, I'm here. Funniest person in Utah. How could you not?
I'm tempted.
I know. If it wasn't for the beard, we'd be on. I'm gonna milk the funniest person thing because here's the thing: is that title to me is silly. So like I've been playing with it. I'm like, you know who you're talking to? Funniest person in Utah.
The first time win.
Yes, there's nobody else to contend with. No, I'm having fun with that with the title.
I remember what did you post on Facebook after you won? It's something silly like
that.
Yeah,
HBO and Comedy Central are going to be calling me.
Yeah, and then
I went home. I won funniest person in Utah, then went home to my cat and ate a frozen pizza. So that's how that works.
So what else has been going on, guys? I mean, like I said, 2 years since we've done the podcast. You've been doing some stand-up.
Doing a ton of stand-up. I do the music show with Marcus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah, what that is, it's pretty cool. It's not necessarily stand-up, but Marcus is a comedian who is the runner-up on Last Comic Standing. He's also he was a singer in a band before he ever did comedy. Great singer. But what got him on Last Comic Standing was he's a great impressionist. You know, he does these impressions that are crazy, and he kind of wanted to get away from impressions because, let's be honest, most of them are not his, but most impressions in general are kind of hacky. It's like, what if Don Knotts was an ice cream man? How do you make impressions? So we wanted to find an interesting way to do impressions. And we put together this show one time where I was kind of the musical director, if there was a title. We put together a bunch of karaoke tracks and morphed and mixed it, and we found a DJ that knew how to do all this stuff. So Marcus did this live show where he sang all these impressions, but it was with a karaoke track, and there were medleys, and it sucked. It was shit. Yeah. Because it was just a guy on stage singing. And it, not because he couldn't sing well, but it was just like, this is dumb. It's a guy we're watching karaoke. So we thought about it, and I said, let me try to make these 90 songs, that were jammed into medleys. Let me try to make these work on acoustic guitar. So I went in the woodshed for a couple months and found ways to make all these different songs work on acoustic guitar, and we do that, and it's been killing. Like, we fly all over the country doing this show for corporate events and stuff because it's really unique. It's perfect for like corporate events. We do it once in a great while by itself at the comedy club, and it doesn't really work that well by itself, but we'll usually put that show on the end of a stand-up show. So we'll do stand-up and then we'll do the music, and it's so entertaining. Like, everybody, I've never seen anybody not like it. So yeah, it's really cool. Marcus can do impressions, vocal impressions. He'll do a Neil Diamond or a Chris Cornell. You wouldn't know it's not them.
Oh, he's incredible. I think I said this when I had you before. I got to get him on the podcast and find out his story.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
always got a crazy interesting story.
Yeah.
He'd probably be glad to do it. I'll text him when I leave. I'm actually going to go handle some business with him after this. So I'll
talk to him. Tell him I'll get in touch with him.
Okay.
And say a few nice things about me.
Yeah, I'll tell him that you guys have similar sleeves.
There you go. I don't want to talk too much about Marcus. I want to talk about Marcus when he's here. Is there a YouTube video of you guys playing?
Yeah, there's.
So I could put that maybe on the website so people could check it out.
If you put on Marcus and Guy Seidel, there's a couple videos. The only video we have that's like legit of the music show is one we did for Park City TV, which the music.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it's a great clip. It's shot well, but it's basically just us singing. It doesn't really show the comedy aspect of it and the crowd interaction. Things like that, but it'll kind of let you know where he's at with his impressions, but it doesn't kind of show the live aspect of the show with the crowd involvement and that stuff. So, but that's what it's about. It's online, and we're working on some clips now. We filmed a show a month or so ago, and we're editing it down to get some stuff online. So
cool.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
What I'm excited to talk about, because I'm a podcast nerd, I want to talk about podcasting with you.
Right.
I mean, you got a podcast. It's actually the first episode
is dropping next week.
So it will be up the same week that this episode is up.
Yes.
So perfect.
Right. Mine's going to hit May 6th.
Okay, so this will be up before then.
May 3rd, I think, is when this one's going to hit.
Okay. So obviously people are going to listen to this even after that. But talk about that. Let's talk. I mean, this is a brilliant idea, the show.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of go at a different angle with the podcast because, as you know,
do you know what you're doing at all?
No.
Okay, well, we'll get into that.
Not at all. That's why it's taken me so long to get a fucking podcast, man. I've talked with a couple comedian buddies who were like, let's do a podcast. How do we do it? I don't know. I even bought some recording equipment one time, plugged it into my computer, and I was like, I don't know how to work this shit. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to click things.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's tough to get.
See, you got a little box there. That's the easy part. But then what you do after that, I don't know. So I talked about doing a podcast forever. And then I finally got in contact with a producer, Sasha.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah. And he's like, all you got to do is show up and talk. I'll do the rest. I'm like, fucking on.
Yeah. You're like, where do I sign up?
Right. Yes.
Where's the catch?
Let's go. But the premise of the podcast is pretty cool. I wanted to be a very not local. I wanted to be for the I Am Not Salt Lake podcast. That's what mine's going to be. not to slam your podcast, but my
you should have
intent
named
was
it that. You should have named I Am Not Salt Lake.
Not Salt Lake. I don't want there to really be many local references. I don't want there to be talk of local politics, local happenings. I want somebody in Maryland to listen to it or Florida or wherever.
Absolutely.
And have it still hit. So the podcast premise is I want dirty stories, not like sexually dirty, not, shit you do with your old lady. I want like grit. I want the underbelly, but in a lighthearted kind of way. Like I want stories. So I want former cops, prison guards. If I can get them, I want former criminals, hookers. I want people with some crazy ass stories.
I might have some for you.
Yeah?
No, seriously. We'll talk off air.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, that's what I want. I don't want. Okay, well, here's a filmmaker making this movie that's coming out next month. Blah 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 blah. Sure, his story's interesting, but I want people with I want jaws dropped. So my first guest is going to be Bo Babka.
Now I noticed that. Why does his name ring a bell? Is he what does he do?
He was a police officer in Cottonwood Heights.
Okay,
and
he ran for different offices.
Yeah,
his signs were all over lawns.
He got canned because he put $44 of gas in his personal vehicle on a city credit card.
And that's the reason he got fired.
Was it 2 cars? Oh, his wife's car. So he was a year away from retirement and got canned. And then after that, his story got kind of interesting. He ran for some things, and I don't know all this yet. I'm kind of saving it to ask him.
Absolutely.
But I know he ran for a few things. He lived in a literally a shed so that his wife and kids could stay in the house. He was working at Walmart at one point.
Wait, so they could stay in the house. Why couldn't he stay in the house?
They got divorced.
Oh, okay. I was like, well,
right. So I should have said his ex-wife, but
okay.
And he's kind of had a really interesting story since then. He was a former Seattle Seahawk, motivational speaker, and he's a personal trainer now. Just super interesting guy, and I know since he's been a former cop, he's got some stories, so that'll be interesting to hear.
So he's going to be on the first episode.
He's going to be on the first episode.
You haven't recorded it yet, even.
No, we're recording Sunday night, the 3rd.
Wow.
So here in less than a week. So that's going to be interesting. I want people like that, and then I got a few ideas for some other people that I got lined up.
Nothing set up, nothing that you really want to talk about yet.
No, I don't want to talk about necessarily like when he comes in. Yeah, I'm going to ask him to explain his story a little bit, but I don't want it to be about him necessarily. I want it to be about the shit he's seen, without getting too dark. I don't want to hear about pulling dead babies out of cars. But I want some gritty stories. I want to get roadies from bands. They got some interesting stories, things like that. And I want titles, because I had buddies hitting me up like, hey dude, I was at a college party once, my frat, and this dude came in, and I was like, neat. But I need a title. I need a former this or a current this or things like that. So it'll be interesting to hear some of the stories. And then also with that, what's kind of cool is I wanted to keep it humorous and free flowing. So every week I'm going to have a different person kind of co-hosting just in the room to bounce off of. And we're going to talk for the first, it's going to be kind of like, I don't want to compare myself to Mark Maron, but for
he's
first,
the easiest to compare to.
Right.
We all know Mark Maron.
Yeah. His podcast, I want the first little while to just be ranting about shit, talking about, bouncing things off of each other, having a laugh, talking about current events, and then we're going to get to the guests. So it's going to be interesting in the fact that it's just a bunch of comedians hanging out, and then we kind of grill somebody about the stuff they've seen. So,
well, it's a great opportunity. I've said this to the comedians, especially here in Salt Lake. It's great to promote yourself. It's great to get your name out there. Some of the other comedians that have podcasts on your whole media. I love them. I'm glad to see this podcast movement here in Salt Lake.
Yeah, me too.
It's great. And you guys all offer unique shows.
Right.
Andy's show, Jason's show, your show. Well, I haven't listened to your show yet.
Not yet.
But, trying to think who else has got a show.
I don't know. I'm not, I don't listen to many podcasts.
Well, you said that before. I listened to the episode when you were on before, and you said that before.
And I'm getting more into them now.
Music. You're a music guy.
I'm a music guy. Yeah. Typically, like normally I want, when I do listen to my headphones, it's at the gym every morning. And I don't want to be lifting weights listening to some NPR fucker with a boring voice talking about, fucking Michael Franti concert.
See, and I love to run listening to an audiobook or a podcast.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because you got a rhythm going.
I like to, but every time I try to listen to music and I go for a run, I find myself going out of sync or okay,
that makes sense. One problem I do have, and I should maybe listen to more podcasts, is that I find myself, this song sucks next. This song sucks next. This song sucks. I was forced to listen to a podcast today at the gym because I forgot my headphones, my earbuds. So I went to the counter at Planet Fitness and said, hey, I'll take some of those Planet Fitness headphones for $6. You know what you get for $6 headphones? $6 headphones.
Crap.
Oh, they were like I tried to listen to music and I was like, this sounds like I'm listening through a freaking Pringles can.
Yeah.
So I listened to a podcast because it's just a voice. But I am listening to more podcasts lately. It's just I never have an hour. If I had a desk job, maybe.
Well, you could put them on pause.
I know. But then I'm like, what the fuck what are they going to talk about? And then I get anxious. I do listen to them when I go on the road, when I drive. I have 5 or 6 podcasts that I listen to.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, I should listen to yours more. I don't listen to the only ones I've listened to of Andy's, who's probably one of my best friends. is mine.
You were on a recent episode, which
Yeah.
I'll try to get that link actually too for the show notes for this.
Okay,
show, so
cool.
People can just saturate themselves with Guy.
Yes, I want to saturate you, ladies. But yeah, the podcast.
There's so much great out there. And I would sit here and pick your brain about what you enjoy about pod. But yeah, you're not really a podcaster yet.
Not yet. One thing I'm looking forward to is that I demand that it's uncensored, which isn't a huge thing in podcasting, but I do local radio sometimes, and I'm very limited because you have 2 minutes, and you can't say anything racy. You say ass, you kind of get a raised eyebrow. Podcasting, I can say whatever the fuck I want, and that's because that's how my brain works.
When I started this podcast, I might have said this to you when you were here. First 20 episodes or so, I was like, this is Salt Lake. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it. But I found when I lifted that veil, when I lifted that wall up of saying, you know what, I don't care what the fuck you say, whatever you want to say, the numbers skyrocketed. People want to hear the truth. We're sick. People live in this censored society.
Oh, yeah.
We're sick of it.
Yeah,
we're adults.
That's I used to listen to Opie and Anthony on Sirius XM, and I was just all the time just like, God, I wish I had that outlet to where I could just say shit and not worry about the FCC and not worry about fucking advertisers pulling ads and all this shit. So that's my thing, is because the way my brain works, I'm not a PC guy. I'm not the guy that's going to say shit just to get a rise out of people either. But I definitely want to speak my mind without having to pander to advertisers or whoever, bosses. If I want to say fuck, I say fuck. If I, without going overboard, I don't want to say things just to say them. But it'll be really fun to let my brain flow freely.
I think you'd do great at a solo podcast, just sitting behind the microphone. You're
Bill Burr style.
Bill Burr, absolutely. You're sitting in your apartment downtown Salt Lake City, and you're just like, fuck it.
I've thought about that. I've thought about just reading the news, just like, what the fuck? Because that's how shit happens. I'll read the news. I'm like, what the hell is this? And these are my thoughts on it. Blah.
I followed you on Facebook long enough. I know how your mind works. You would do a good job, buddy.
I'm not one to hold back.
No, not at all.
Like I got some shit the other day I posted a stupid meme, man, which I don't do.
The Bill Cosby one.
Yeah, I don't post memes often. Like I don't think comedians should post memes because that's not from your brain. That's just that somebody thought of that. You're just regurgitating it. So like I hide I call them meme farmers. When somebody just constantly reposts shit, it's like, okay, that's neat, but I got 3,500 or whatever Facebook friends. If I didn't unfollow those people, I wouldn't be able to see anything in my newsfeed because it'd all just be memes. So most people that share a lot of memes, I kind of unfollow, and not to be disrespectful. It's just I can't keep up. So I don't post many memes. Well, the other day I posted a meme, and it showed Bill Cosby, as you saw it, and the caption was, "Is Bruce Jenner a woman yet?" That's fucking funny. That's funny. I had a close friend unfriend me.
Really? Because of that?
Because it's a rape joke and it's a transphobic joke, which I call bullshit on.
That's a word I haven't. Transphobic.
That's the buzzword right now.
Is that the buzzword?
Yeah, because since Bruce Jenner kind of brought gender dysphoria to the limelight, people like transphobic. People want phobias to exist so they have something to stand up for. I have never heard anybody yet say, Bruce Jenner's a fucking freak. Fuck that guy. I haven't heard anybody say that. I've heard nothing but support for Bruce Jenner. People think, that's weird, but whatever makes him happy. That's not being transphobic. But people are creating a fake outrage so that they can be the warriors of social injustice. So they're like, stop transphobia. Does transphobia exist? Absolutely it exists. But there's a difference between making a joke and hate. I make a joke about Bruce Jenner. I made a meme about Bruce Jenner months ago. I said, support transgender Americans. And it showed a picture of Bruce Jenner. That's not hating what he did. That's just making a joke about the situation. So I posted this thing, and I had a couple people inbox me like that. The rape jokes aren't funny. Transgender jokes aren't funny. I'm like, well, is Bruce Jenner not becoming a woman? He is. Okay. Is Bill Cosby not an accused rapist? Connect the two. It's funny. I'm not saying, hey, you should rape people. Go out and rape McRaperson. No. And I'm not saying that transgendered people should be murdered and thrown in the ocean. I'm not saying that either. It's just you make a connection with two things. You're like, hey, that's clever. I thought that meme was clever. Whoever made it wasn't me. So I shared it and I got some backlash for it.
Got a chuckle from me.
Right. And I have a Facebook friend who lives east somewhere, Boston, somewhere over there. I don't know. But she is a lady in her 40s who has a son who is, I think, 14 or so, that is a woman. So her son is living as a woman. And this lady, Christine, is the biggest advocate. She's the biggest ally for her now daughter. And I think it's so kick-ass because she's not afraid. She's not embarrassed. She is behind her daughter, formerly son, 100%, and supports it. She's a big advocate for because the suicide rate for gender dysphoria is 25%. That means 1 in 4 people are killing themselves because you're confused as fuck. You're a man, but you think you're a woman. I can see how you go crazy.
Back to your podcast really quick. Are you going to do phone interviews at all? Because that should be a fascinating person to have on your show.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't thought about it.
Yeah, I want to do phone interviews if I can get the right people on.
But anyway, sorry.
But anyway, yeah, I consulted her. I said, hey, is this meme offensive? And she says, no, that's just, you're making light of a situation. She's like, that meme's clever as shit. So I don't see why people are getting so upset about the whole. I think people are creating fake outrage every time they do it. People love to be heroes and people love to be victims.
Absolutely.
Whenever the Nepal earthquake hit, people are posting, pray for Nepal, pray for Nepal. Okay, hero, how about send money? Prayers don't do shit. Or people also love to be victims. I stop tattoo discrimination. Tattoo discrimination doesn't exist. Not to an epic proportion. We both have tattoos.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of them, and I don't feel it's affected me. Maybe with some older people.
There's been times where you wonder in the back of your head, you think, did I get passed up for this promotion? Did I get passed up for this? Whatever. Know, in life, and you wonder, is it? But there's a lot of things I wonder. My beard, maybe I didn't have my beard. Maybe it's the tattoos. I'm too tall. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny.
I'm kind of old school too. Like if I see somebody with a neck tattoo, I'm like, you're not coming to my house. I mean, depending if I know them or not. Yeah. And there's a few things. I don't know how we got on this subject, but there's a few things that go into tattoo discrimination. Yeah, we're rambling. There's a few tattoo discrimination. I sometimes will see it and think, fuck that. And it depends not on their tattoos, but on what the person looks like. You look like just a young dude that's has some tattoos. Yeah. You'll see those sketchy son bitches with, if you have a skull tattooed on your neck and brass knuckles tattooed on the other side of your neck, and you're sagging your pants, and
it's how you carry the rest.
It's how you carry yourself and how you present yourself. It's not the it's the tattoos,
swastikas or something.
Right?
Whoa, okay.
It's the tattoos with other things.
Yeah.
If you have gang tattoos, you're not babysitting my kids. I don't have kids. But
I was going to say, Guy, do we need to talk about?
By the way, I started a family over the last 2 years. No, it's tattoos with other things. I made the decision. I'm sleeving my left arm. My left arm's almost done being sleeved, and I just made sure no skulls, no fire, no naked ladies, no fucking. There's certain things I didn't want.
Who's
on
tattooing your arm? Is Salt Lake person here or no?
In Clearfield, my nephew's wife, her name's Andrea, at 6 Feet Below Tattoo.
Okay.
So I drive to Clearfield every 2 weeks to get it done, and my whole arm is themed after my hometown of Helper, Utah.
See, and I haven't really seen this here.
Yeah, it's all kind of new, and a lot of it's still under
taking his clothes off.
Yeah, a lot of it's healing there.
Yeah, Butch Cassidy.
Butch Cassidy wanted poster because Butch Cassidy robbed a mine in my hometown of Helper. I got a postcard. There's a statue in Helper of Big John. I got that tattooed on there. I got a Rio Grande logo from the railroad.
See, now that is fucking awesome. I actually love that because it's very
It's very
like Utah. It's your hometown.
Right.
It has a lot of meaning.
Yeah, there's no hotel sign.
Some Salt Lake City stuff. I haven't gotten any Salt Lake City related.
Where are you working on? Both your arms are done, aren't they?
No. Crap. I mean, I haven't gotten any tattoo work probably for 4 or 5 years.
Once this sleeve's done, I tell myself I'm never stepping foot in a fucking tattoo parlor again, man.
They hurt.
God damn it, they hurt. Anybody that says they don't hurt's full of shit, because you'll always have that tough guy. And it's usually women, to be honest with you. She's like, it doesn't hurt. It tickles. It goes numb. I like the way it feels. No, you don't. It fucking hurts. Like shit.
Well, people say, when I was getting a lot of work done, they're like, wow, I'm actually surprised how well you take it, Chris. You know, I'm like, what do you think? I'm just a big wimp or something?
It's not comfortable. The pit of your armpit, like the elbow inside, God damn it. And even the outside of your elbow is miserable. But what are you going to do? Scream? My tattoo artist says the same thing. He said, you're taking it pretty well. It's like, no, I'm grinding my teeth and I'm over here wincing. It's not
paying you money for this?
Yeah. So I'm almost over tattoos, but then at the same time, I'm thinking about shit to start on my right arm. So
they're fun. And I mean, some of the stuff you can do with them.
So are both of your arms covered?
No, I just have, I mean, it's so faded. I need to get some. No, see, I just got.
Okay, so you still got quite a room on your right arm.
Yeah, and then my legs and
I'll never do my legs.
Why not?
I got skinny ass bitch legs.
Okay. What about a nice chest piece, back piece?
I'm thinking maybe a back piece, and the only reason for that is that in 1997, old guy turned 18 years old, and Mom said I couldn't have a tattoo. So when I turned 18. There was a lady down the street who did tattoos in her kitchen.
And you got one on your back?
Oh, a big old fucking tribal.
Really?
Yeah. You guys should have just seen, you should have just saw fucking Chris's eyebrows go, her? Like, oh, a tribal, you say? Yeah, and it's a big one.
Like are we talking across your shoulder?
Shoulder to shoulder, probably 8 inches tall.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's big. But it's so faded. I asked my tattoo artist, I was like, can you do anything with this? She's like, we can do anything with that because it's faded and it'd be pretty easy to cover. So I'm thinking about that, but at the same time, I don't see that tattoo, so I don't really give a shit.
But you go swimming with the ladies?
I would like to, and that's because I think about that. Like, I go to the lake, then I take my shirt off, and I got this stupid botched ass. Because not only is it tribal and faded, but it was done poorly. Like, it's crooked. It looks like it's not wings, but it kind of has that shape where it goes from the center and goes out. One side is thicker than the other, and it was done very poorly. Once in a while when I go home, I'll run into the lady that did it, and it takes all I have.
Is there any photos of it out there that you want to? You're probably not willing to show that off.
I don't think there are any photos of it. To be honest with you, that's something I do not like. Yeah, it doesn't get out there. I took a photo of it once because I wanted to figure out what to cover it with and some ideas, but I would never release that. I would
Fair enough.
Put that online.
I got some questions I want to ask you. I've been asking some of the stand-ups and whatnot that have been coming on a second, third time, stuff like that, because we obviously don't want to sit here and find out about your life or your
My
stories.
life's not that interesting.
Well, we found out about it when you were on the first time. So let's jump into some wacky questions. I like to call them wacky questions.
Wacky. Is there some music playing in the post-production right now? Some like game show music?
I'll put it in there.
I think you should.
You ready?
Wacky questions.
Andy Gold had a blast with some of these
Perfect. Let's do it.
When he was on the show. What's the funniest movie you've ever seen?
Funniest movie? Dumb and Dumber. God damn it. I'll watch that movie. I don't give a shit. If I'm scrolling through channels and it's on, stop. Watch it. Runner up would be Cheech and Chong's next movie. That's probably my favoriteest movie of all time. Dumb and Dumber's funnier, but next movie.
I would have never have guessed that.
Oh, I'm a huge Cheech and Chong fan.
Well, the Dumb and Dumber one.
Oh, the Dumb and Dumber one?
It's hilarious, but
it's
your all-time funniest movie that guy would recommend.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber. It's so stupid.
What's the scariest movie?
Scariest movie? You know what? I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, but Blair Witch.
I've never seen it. Never
really?
Seen it. Nope.
I'll tell you why. Because they don't use in this. If I watched it now, it's probably cheeseball because it's been beat to death. But when that came out, every horror movie was monsters and startle tactics. So you'd be watching it and then and you get But Blair Witch was just eerie, like fucking
nightmares after watching
right,
it.
Yeah, because that was before the internet was like huge. So there was the rumors that it was real, and you didn't know. Like people didn't know. Is this real footage? Did they really find this footage? There was a buzz. Like it took a while to realize that no, that was made, but people thought it was real, myself included, because the internet didn't exist and there wasn't 1,000 bloggers going, "Oh, it's fucking fake." There was just buzz. That's all there was.
What's a movie you haven't seen that you think everybody else has?
Every one of them ever. I'm not a movie guy. I haven't seen. I'm going to list you some. I haven't seen Star Wars.
Really?
None of them. I haven't seen any Rockies. I haven't seen Jaws. I haven't seen any Batmans. Nothing. Like I
haven't seen any of the Harry Potters.
I haven't seen any Harry Potters.
Or the new Star Wars. The older Star Wars I've seen.
Okay, I lied. I did see episode. Would it be 1?
Whatever the one from with like back in the 70s or the newer one?
The one that came out because I was in Hawaii in '99, so it would have been the one with Jar Jar Binks and all that.
I haven't seen it.
I accidentally saw it because we were in Hawaii. My band, for those of you that don't know, I was in a band. We went over to Hawaii, and we were kind of broke, and somebody had movie tickets for us, so we went and saw Star Wars
just to kill time.
Just to kill some time, and I couldn't have given less shits. I was just there, just like, bleh. I fell asleep at one point. But that's the most Star Wars I've seen. I haven't seen very many movies.
What's the least attractive quality in a person?
In a person? Being an ethnic minority, really. I mean, they're just kidding. By the way, people listening, I am one. Geez, that's hard to say because I'm most of the things that I find unattractive.
See, and that's what I thought you would have fun with.
Well, yeah. So there's a few. Smoking. And I'm a former smoker, and the reason for that.
You don't think that's hot though? Like when I see a girl or a woman smoking, that is as hot.
It can be romanticized in like movies.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why I think smoking can be hot, because if a girl smokes, that means she's chill, she's relaxed. But at the same time, and I've observed this in my head, if I see a woman smoking like outside or in a bar in certain settings, it's fine. There's nothing more unattractive of a woman smoking in a car. Isn't it just like if I see a woman at a stoplight with a cigarette, I'm just like, ugh.
And the windows aren't even barely rolled down.
Yeah, they're barely cracked, and you know that the car stinks, and there's probably fucking Pepsi can with 30 butts in it. Like, yeah.
That was me.
Me too.
Yeah.
When I smoked, I was that guy, and I don't pass. I mean, maybe I do pass judgment when I see a girl smoking. I'm just like, eh. And on a deeper, unfunny level, smoking killed my mother.
Okay.
So part of it's like, stop doing that. It's terrible. But I also get it because I was a smoker for a lot of years. But yeah, car smoking, gross.
What's the longest plane ride that you've ever been on?
Hawaii. It was like 5 hours in a fucking Altoids can.
And you went there only to play music? You didn't go there for anything else?
Yeah, we went. Yeah, the band made a trip over there. We had one gig that we lost our balls on, but we wanted to do it, so we made a vacation out of it. It was like a week, something like that. But yeah, 5 hours.
If you had the option of adopting a baby fox or a baby koala, which would you choose?
Well, shit. Because if you think about this, koalas are cute as fuck, but they only eat, what is it? Eucalyptus.
The leaves, right?
So I'd be feeding it Halls fucking cough drops and it would die because where the fuck do you get eucalyptus other than Halls? A fox would probably rip your face off. So are foxes mean?
I'm sure they turn on you.
What's the plural of foxes, by the way? Is it foxes or fox?
Foxes.
Foxes? Fox eye?
I think
it's fox eye. It is now. I just made it up.
I'm not sure.
I'm the mayor of words.
This is why I need to have somebody hanging out in the podcast to look stuff up, know, with like a dictionary.
It's fox eye now.
Okay.
We just decided that. What?
We just found out koalas have chlamydia.
Perfect. Then well, now the fox and I can blame each other. It was you. No, it was you. Or the koala. Koalas have chlamydia? Koalas.
Well, that just ruined everything for me.
Of koala chlamydia? We'll send a bunch of Z-Packs down to goddamn Australia and take care of the koala problem. They're cheap. Son of a bitch. They're too cute to be dying off.
What's your all-time favorite word to say?
Other than the F word?
If that's your all-time favorite word, that's so far been everybody else's favorite word.
No, that's not my favorite word. That's just like the hat, because it used to be you'd say or now it's fucking. I would say the C-bomb because it still has a little bit of power. Because bitch lost all its power because girls embraced it, and it just become it became like douchebag. It's just a derogatory term that people kind of laugh at. The C-bomb still has a little bit of weight. You drop that, people are like, ooh. So I do like that. I don't drop it in my act. I don't drop it online, but in my car, it's rampant.
When you're by yourself or with your buddies. Or
Yeah, that word's flying around all the time.
Never a bad moment for that one. Right?
No.
If you could learn to play any instrument, which instrument would you pick? I mean, I know you play the guitar.
Yeah.
But let's just say you could learn to play any be awesome at it.
Is singing an instrument?
Sure.
I would sing because, you know what? I've learned this from being in bands and doing the show with Marcus and all this stuff. I've been playing guitar for 23 years. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars and tens of thousands of hours learning it, doing it. And you go on stage and all the chicks are throwing their panties at the singer. And
I'm with you. I understand.
Yeah. And it's not even a getting laid thing. It's just like that guy was born with that voice. He was born with it. Yeah, he has to keep it up a little, do a few, and then he goes on stage and he's the goddamn rock star. Bullshit.
What kind of music would you like to sing? Like metal or country or rap?
I would like to just have a strong,
Just be able to do whatever.
yeah, a strong voice, a powerful voice like a Steve Perry, just big. That way I could play guitar and sing and just create. Because I don't write songs because I don't have anybody sing them, and I suck at it. But if I could sing, I'd probably write songs because I could do both. You know, play guitar and sing. But no, I can't sing for shit.
What's the biggest personal change you've ever made?
I used to be a woman. Speaking of Bruce Jenner, now the biggest personal change I've ever made, probably quitting smoking.
That's tough.
Oh, it's tough as shit. That's why I try not to be too hard on smokers. I know how hard it is.
I'm going through the second time quitting, but the second time is off of those stupid e-cigarettes. I hate those things.
You know what? I would rather see somebody smoke a cigarette than one of those stupid ass douche flutes.
Well, you know what's bad about e-cigarettes is you don't know when to stop. So you're smoking it. You don't know when it ends.
Oh, because the cigarette ends.
You're going to be sitting in your apartment smoking it, and you're just like, oh, okay. So you get so dependent on that nicotine. So to try to wean yourself off of that is ridiculous.
Right.
It's much harder to get myself off of the e-cigarette the second time around than when I used to smoke. I quit analog, regular cigarettes back when I was 30.
Analog, I like that.
and then I picked up smoking again about 35, going through some different things in life. You know, I'm like, okay, but I was like, I don't want to smell. So I picked up the e-cigarette, started smoking that. Okay, this is great. I don't smell. It's cheap, blah, blah, blah. You know, you get the highest nicotine because you're like, oh, I want to feel that nicotine go through your veins, but you can get away with it anywhere. You know, you can go hide in the bathroom at work.
Yeah.
You can be at a movie theater.
It's illegal, but you can hide it really easily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I built up this dependence and this tolerance, and it's
So do you still vape?
I don't anymore.
Okay, good.
No,
I would rather see somebody shooting heroin than one of those stupid ass lighty up.
No, it's a great well, and I know you have your feelings about the way they look and this and that, but so I'm on a very low nicotine gum now to kind of just
wean you off.
Wean it. Yeah.
I went because I know myself. I have a hard time with moderation.
Yeah.
Anything. That's why I never even attempted to do drugs or even smoke weed because I have a really hard time. Oh, I enjoy this. I'll do this on occasion. I'm like, I enjoy this. I want to make it ruin my life. Whether it be things from cigarettes to I discovered fucking frozen lattes at Starbucks a month ago, and I've had an $8 latte every day for the past month. So I don't do well with moderation. So when I quit smoking, I just fucking quit.
How much were you smoking though? When
Pack and a half a day. I was heavy.
Dude, I was going back before when I was third. I was getting into my third pack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was a smoker.
When I DJ'd at a bar about 10 years ago, I would get into the third pack. Yeah, because you have time. And I work well, when I was smoking, I worked outdoors a lot. So I had a lot of opportunities to smoke. So when I did quit, I was like, I'm just going to bag it. I woke up one morning. It wasn't even planned. I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm done. I don't want to smoke anymore. I had 3 packs of cigarettes sitting on my fridge because they had those Camel buy 2, get 1 free things, whatever.
You got to get them.
Yeah. So I had those and I was like, I'm not going to wait until those are gone. And I'm not even going to keep those cigarettes to give away because if they're in the house for another hour, I'll smoke them.
So you quit cold turkey.
I quit cold turkey. I grabbed those 3 packs and I went and I stepped on them. I just smashed them because I knew if they were in the house, I was going to smoke them. If I waited to give them to a friend, I was going to end up smoking them. So I just smashed them. Cold turkey. And it was fucking miserable.
How do you, so like with me, like, I mean, and I apologize to get on this tangent on the podcast, but like my vision would cross. I mean, like literally I'd be driving a car and be like, whoa.
I would have, because I kind of have anger issues anyway. Like I'm very short fused. I would anything snap, lose my shit. Not just being grumpy, like TV remote battery would die, smash the thing against a fucking wall. Things like that. I ruined a laptop because my computer kept freezing up, so I snapped it in half and threw it across the room.
While you were quitting smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's...
I thought maybe that was last night, your anger issues were that bad.
No, that was while I was quitting smoking, but I have kind of a short temper anyway, not with people, but with inanimate objects. Stupid CD skips, punch it. I don't get mad at people for some reason. But yeah, that was a big thing. So I was just a miserable piece of shit for about a month. And then I kind of just...
But you feel great. I
down.
remember how it was when I finally got past that hump and just being like, wow, you feel great as a non-smoker.
I felt not so much physically better. But I just felt victorious. Yeah. Like I beat it. And I'm going to keep beating it. And now I've been off for 4 years almost. So I feel awesome not smoking. I still crave them.
You really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really? Well, and I didn't mean to, turn your podcast into an anti-tobacco, anti-e-cigarette.
Hey, we're shooting the shit, right?
But, you said you never got angry with people. Have you ever been in a fist fight?
Yeah, I was DJ at a bar, and I have a mouth.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've been in a couple fists. I've lost some. I don't know if I've won any, but I've gotten a few good hits in before it got broken up. It's been forever, though.
What is your perfect pizza?
My perfect pizza? Okay. And I'm going to catch some shit for this. And I suggest everybody try this. A frozen Totino's.
I'm listening.
Yes. And then, and if you live near a 7-Eleven, you buy a frozen Totino's, and then you buy a string cheese stick. You string the cheese into like 10 or 15 strings, drape it over the pizza, and then they also sell those little Hormel pepperoni sticks right next to the goddamn cheese, string cheese. Cut up a pepperoni stick. You have a Totino's pizza, which is lacking in cheese and pepperoni, and you have extra cheese and pepperoni on a Totino's.
I love it.
Oh, it's amazing. Totino's. I would rather have a Totino's than a Pizza Hut any day of the week.
I'm gonna listen to that until I memorize that. And
just string cheese, pepperoni stick, and a Totino's.
Yeah, but the way you described it sounds very intimate.
Here's the thing. I made pizzas for a living for 11 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And helper?
Price.
Yeah.
I my first job was at Little Caesars. I just got hired on as a stupid 16-year-old to cut pizzas. And when I was 27, I walked away.
No more, I'm done.
And I wasn't just flipping pizzas at 27. I had some weight in the company and was making a better living than I ever have, to be honest with you. But yeah, I was in the pizza biz for a long time.
One thing I did not know about you.
Yeah, it's not something I really talk about because who the fuck wants to be proud of being a Little Caesars lifer?
What's the longest you've gone without sleep?
Longest I've gone without sleep. I've definitely done over 24 hours. I don't know if I've ever
never done like 48, 2 days back in the high school years, or
no, maybe like a 3-day weekend where sleep was scattered in there, but
like rock stars, Monster Energy.
No, I know I've done 24 hours. Other than that, I was never a big partier. Like I did drink and shit a little back in the day, but I was never that guy. I've always kind of been the responsible one in the friend group. I'm boring.
The guy that people can be like, well, let's call him for a ride. He's
you know what
sober.
I used to do at high school parties is I'd carry around an empty beer bottle just so nobody would ask me for rides. Yeah,
that sounds like something I would do. Though.
Just walk around with a bottle. Everybody's like, I can't. Don't worry about it. And that's sober as shit. I just didn't want to be fucked with. I didn't want to give anybody a ride home. Puke in my car.
Put some water in there and take a swig. What'd you do for your latest birthday?
Oh, latest birthday, Motley Crue concert. Which
was that the one out at USANA?
And yeah, Motley Crue was my favorite band growing up. Big, because my brothers are a lot older than me. That was their band, so I became a big Motley Crue fan growing up, and so this was their final tour. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to go off on a music tangent.
Now it's their final tour.
Well, it's still the same tour. That's where they tricked us. is as I do believe they're doing their final tour. I don't believe they're going to be one of those bands that come back for their second final tour. They just made their final tour 3 years long, and then they're going to hit each city twice. So I was like, here's my money. Bam, $100 and some odd to see Motley Crue, who I had seen 8 times before, who I know suck balls live, but they were my favorite band growing up. So here's $150, Nikki Sixx. Take it. I want to see you on your final tour. That was great. A few months later, hey, we're coming back, Salt Lake. Son of a bitch. So
are you going to go see him again this
probably.
summer? Probably. They aren't the best live band, though.
Vince, they're a great live band. They just have a singer that can't sing.
I don't know. I saw him one of the times that you saw him. I was like, it's all right. I don't know.
Vince Neil either sucks or sucks worse.
Yeah.
It's Google. If you're listening to this, even if you're not a fan, Google Vince Neil sucks, and there'll be a bunch of videos because he does.
I'm hoping some good. There's been a few announcements, but I'm really hoping this summer is just jam packed with music.
You know what? I spent over $1,000 on concert tickets last summer.
Really?
I saw over 20 bands last summer.
Best one you saw last summer besides
Paul McCartney.
Whoa! You went to that, huh?
Oh, dude! Holy shit! Best concert I've ever seen. Dude's 73 years old. Did a 3-hour show. No opener. He didn't have an opener. He came out and he'd grab a bass, he'd grab a guitar, he'd run up to a piano. You would think that son of a bitch was 40. 3 hours. Didn't change the pitch of his vocals. Didn't fake songs because his voice couldn't hold up. Sounded like the recording on every single one of them. 3 hours nonstop. I don't know if they had to put him on a machine when he got off stage or what, but he destroyed for 3 hours.
Remind me where that was again.
ESA, Energy Solutions.
Okay. So that's a great venue for that.
Oh yeah. So, but there are some good concerts coming up this summer. Van Halen was coming. Okay, I'm kind of an old dirt head.
No, I love it though. That's what I like about you.
Yeah. Well, here's what Van Halen did. Here's where they fucked up. Van Halen says, reunion tour, David Lee Roth. I'm like, take my money. Whatever it takes. And then they put out videos of them performing live on Jimmy Kimmel and Ellen DeGeneres. And I was like, I wouldn't pay $5 to see that because David Lee Roth is a mess. He looks healthy. He looks all right. But
see, and I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's awful. Go YouTube the Van Halen.
Jimmy Kimmel.
That one's bad, but the worst one is them doing Jump on Ellen. Oh, it's embarrassing. So yeah, horrible. So, if I get free tickets from one of my radio buddies, I'll go. But because it's a party, it's Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen's responsible for everything awesome about guitar. So, but other than that, no. But there are some good concerts. Hank Williams Jr. is coming.
Where's he playing?
Red Butte, which
I remember seeing. The tickets for that aren't on sale though yet, right?
Not yet. I'm reluctant to go because I kind of have a little bit of a beef with Red Butte.
What's your beef with Red? Or do you want to talk about that?
It's not even a beef. It's just that they're kind of smug. Like, hey, we serve wine and edamame, and our clientele is primarily people that live on the east side, Upper East Side.
And they don't give two shits about most of the music that even plays there.
Yeah, it's just very pretentious, I think. And
I think I remember one of your Facebook posts being like, come on,
Carlos
Ryan Adams is playing there. I love Ryan Adams.
I like Ryan Adams too, but I think they charge a shitload of money just because they know that it's the goddamn wine-sipping NPR crowd that's going to show up.
True.
And, hey, I'm all about raising the price of tickets a little bit to keep the dirtbags out. I'm fine with that. But it's just the pretense of it, the pretentiousness of it is kind of off-putting to me. Carlos Santana tickets were $200.
Really? See, and I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever hike up the mountain there a little ways and just? I've heard there's some good spots. I've never done it.
Neither have I.
But I've heard there's some decent spots where you can hike up the mountain there and actually. It could be decent.
See or hear?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want to be in the concert because like people out of Tucson, I got friends that live out there. Like, yeah, I just listen from my back porch. So let's put a CD on. Then I want to be there. I want to
see where I'm living now is like right across the street from where Twilight is going to be. So it's like I don't even need to really go over there. I can just.
I've never been to one of the Twilight concerts, and it's for the opposite reason of Red Butte.
Yeah, there's just way too many people there.
Way too many people, and it's mostly like young, hip people, which is cool. That's fine. It's nothing against them, but it's just like I don't know anything about
being hip,
and like the bands there. It's like we have Bon Iver and Iron and Wine. It's like I don't know. Somebody throw a pie, man. Somebody rip a solo. something. and they're getting like more hip hop acts and more. Like,
I've noticed that.
I'm familiar with Death Cab. They're coming this year.
Yeah.
But it's just mostly the Twilight thing. It's too many goddamn people in one small area, and since it's only $5, you're getting like the worst kind of people.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, I can afford $5.
Yeah, I'm a drunk scumbag, but I got $5, so it's dirty. I've been not to the concerts,
But driven by it.
Driven by, picked friends up. It's gross.
Last year, last year they had Wu-Tang and they just knocked the
they
fence
knocked
down.
the fence down.
Yeah, I was just
And-
like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't go to that, but
If I was 21 years old, I'd be there all day. That's a blast. But I'm going to be 37 this year. I don't want to go fight to
37, welcome to the club.
Yeah, I don't want to go fight
it's a
to hold
tough
a
age,
spot.
37.
30.
Because you're almost to 40, but you're not mid-30s still.
No, you're
you
late
know?
30s, man.
So you're
37 is
like,
officially late 30s.
Gosh, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah,
How's my 401k doing?
I don't have one.
Yeah, well,
I'm meeting with a financial planner on Wednesday.
for real.
Yeah, that's what 37 is. Because I have a little bit of money. Like I've had a couple of good years. I've stashed more money than I've ever had away into a savings account, and right now it's just sitting there, and I'm adding to it as often as possible, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to be just like, well, I got this money, guess I'll buy a motorcycle. So
You don't want to just blow it.
I don't want to just blow it, and I want to be smart with it. So I want to talk to somebody that knows more about that shit than I do. Because I could just assume things. Oh, I'm going to put it in a IRA, but is that the wise choice? I don't know. Somebody knows more than I do, so I'm going to go meet with somebody on Wednesday.
Well, I might call you up. I need to do something similar.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Do I buy a house? I'm in a very transitional period right now. If we're talking about myself, because my best friend has lived with me for 2 years. Her name is Jamie. We call her the Beef. Absolute best friends. She has a couple of dogs that I absolutely adore. Well, she works in Sandy, and she wants to be closer to work. So in June, she's moving out, and I'm kind of devastated. One, because she's my best friend. We get along. We do everything together. So I'm kind of sad that she's leaving, but I'm really sad that her dogs are leaving. I'm attached to her dogs, but I don't want to fucking move to Sandy. I like downtown. I like the downtown lifestyle. I like all that. So I don't want to go with her. So right now I'm thinking, do I want to buy a house? Do I want to keep renting where I'm at? Do I want to move to LA? Do I want to take this money that I've saved and go to California? So I'm very, very like,
What would you want to do in California? Just pursue your career, comedy a little bit more. I mean, you figure, well, I'm getting old.
Yeah,
got to live a good life. Have some fun.
Yeah, comedy's one of those things that there's not really an age cap, but you still don't want to wait too long. You don't want to go try and make it when you're 50. It can happen. It happened to Lewis Black. It happened to Ron White, but it's probably not the wisest choice to wait that long. So I'm still young enough to where I could be relevant and current, old enough to know what and what not to do, maybe. So that's on the plate. Thinking about it, and if I did, it wouldn't be till winter, maybe.
It's a lot of what ifs.
And that's the thing, is I don't want to not do it and stay here and buy a house and have a comfortable life and then wonder my whole life, what if I would have moved to LA? But I also don't want to be that starry-eyed idiot going to California with the Hollywood sign reflecting in my glasses. So who knows?
Well, we'll have you back on the show, and we'll catch up and find out about the house that you bought in Magna.
That's the thing, is you buy a house here. It's like, hey, you can have this 500 square foot of condo downtown for $200,000, or you can have this big ass house in Magna. So, but you gotta live in Magna. It's catch-22.
Well, Guy, I've had a hell of a time having you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's run down the list of how people can find you. I know your Facebook. That's
Facebook. Just if you're in Salt Lake and you type in Guy SE, I will come up. I'm a friend of Chris's. Or Guy Seidel. Seidel. Laughatguy.com is my website, which really I don't update it.
Does it route you though to probably?
But it routes you to my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook. The website is pretty inactive, but it has the links to everything on there.
And you're always posting online too about where it shows you're.
I'm always plugging stuff. I'm always putting out stupid jokes, debates. The thing I like doing lately is I like confessionals. Tell me a secret, and people will comment cool shit.
Well, okay, speaking of that, It's fair if you don't want to say it. You don't have to give a name. But what is the craziest secret someone's told you, or don't you want to probably?
Somebody inboxed me a message about how his daughter got pregnant by one of his friends, and another daughter had stolen money from him because she was doing drugs.
I've always wondered what people message.
And this dude was a very active LDS, like that guy. He was really staunch, but his kids had done some pretty shady stuff. He confessed that, in confidentiality, of course. But yeah, sometimes I'll do that, and it's fun to have people either comment, saying regular stuff. One time I shit in a burrito, but some people will inbox you with some heavy stuff, and it's kind of fun. I like doing that. I also like best guitarist of all time, go, and then it'll start a thread. And
then people start fighting each other. Fuck you, though, he's not the best guitarist.
I usually end up deleting those because I get annoyed with just how many comments. But I'll let it go for an hour.
You and I got in a fight over Johnny Cash.
Yes, Johnny Cash is overrated.
Okay, well, that's when the podcast ends. Thank you so much, Guy Seidel. Check him out if he comes to a city near you. Thank you, John Farmer, American Musicians Radio, for letting me use their spot to record in. Ryan Prince was not here today, so you did not get an opportunity to meet Ryan.
Check out Roseanne Cash, though. She's great.
Thanks a lot, Guy.
Thanks.
All right, many thanks, Guy, for coming on this episode of the podcast, episode 168. Slowly creeping on that episode 200. Still have not decided what I want to do for the 200th episode, so if you guys have any ideas, feel free to drop me an email, iamsaltlake@gmail.com. Send me a tweet at iamsaltlake, or send me a Facebook message. I'd love to know your thoughts on what I should do for the big episode 200. Hey, listen, guys, there's a few ways you can help support the show, and your support is greatly appreciated. It helps keep the show going forward. First and foremost, feel free to share this episode or any other episode on your favorite social media outlets, whether that's Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, whatever social media sites you use. Feel free to share this episode with your family and friends. Also, please rate and review the podcast. You can do that in Stitcher Radio, iTunes. That helps boost the podcast ratings, gets it exposed to more people. Plus, I like to know what you guys think about the show. If you would like to donate $1 or $2, helps keep the podcast going. You can go to iamsaltlake.com/donate. There's a PayPal button, a one-time PayPal donation helps keep the show alive. And I want to thank those of you that have sent PayPal donations. Really, really cool of you guys. Going on our 3rd year of the I Am Salt Lake podcast. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your support. I want to thank John Farmer at American Musicians Radio for letting me use his spot to record at. I want to thank Ryan Prince for his help with the podcast. I want to thank all the previous people that have come on the show. Check them out. You can check out all the other episodes at iamsaltlake.com. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Go check out Guy Seidel. I mean, seriously, will not be disappointed. And I'm here every week. Brand new episode usually comes out on Sunday evenings. I say Mondays, but it usually comes out Sunday nights. So you guys have a great week, and we'll see you again real soon.